Today I'm going to be reviewing how to install the Good Earth LED light fixtures. It's a very nice slim light fixture. It comes in various different sizes. What I have found after installing a few of them is that the 12-inch version has less space in it. It has wires that might be too short, but I wouldn't give up on it because after it's installed, it's really a nice fixture. It's kind of a mess over there, but that's one of them. It really is nice. You can change the lights from a cool to a warm to another color, and it's really cool. I just love them. So, first things first, how to take off this cover, because that's what you're gonna have to do. They make it look so easy in the video, but I got a trick for it. See, you're just supposed to pop it out. But I'm going to use a trick I'm going to show you here to pop this thing out. That's the first step. All right, the trick is to use a very thin flathead screwdriver so that you don't scratch up the light fixture. And I'm going to insert it at the edge and pull up on it. Now I'm going to pop it out. Can't do it with holding the camera, but hold on. That was all I did though to get this to pop out, is I just put that under there, and now it's easily gonna pop out. Next thing is these little tabs here, depending on the size of them, there's either 2 or 3 of them. You have to really pull this to get it out of there, which I'm gonna do. It's really not that hard, but I can't do it again without holding the camera. So I'm gonna do that right now. There we go. So I pulled that out, and oh, this is the fun thing. As soon as you pull this out, the switch that changes the color pops out, and it's okay. You put it on later, just don't lose it. But inside here is the guts. Now, a couple things. These right here are a different type of connector. It's a 2-port push-in for solid wires, and I actually have 2 wires coming out of the wall plus the one that's in this light fixture, so I need a 3-port. I can cut this off and put in a 3-port, or you could actually use the wire caps, but there's so limited room in here that I could not, in the 12-inch light fixture, get the nuts to fit in there with all of these wires. It just wouldn't work. So I got these. This is a 3-port, push-in, and they support the frayed wire, or sprayed, I don't know what they call them, but they're not solids. The wire's kind of frayed. It's what you would normally twist the thread. So I'm gonna cut these off with wire cutters, strip the end, and then put this on. Okay. Here is my handy dandy wire cutter / crimping tool. I'll need the crimping later, and I'll show you why. Make sure that you cut, when you do, as close as you can. You want to give yourself as much wire as you can. I got the first one in. Look at the difference between, one is flatter for sure, and then the nut, if you compare it, it's just wider. I don't know if you can really see that, but I think this will just compress in there a little bit easier. At least it'll hold it together better. Okay, it might be helpful to know that I twisted the wire to get it in there, and it's looks like it's on. Another piece of information is some of these wires were not long enough to connect. So I'm gonna extend this wire. I only needed this one 2 more inches. So I got, there's the extra wire. I cut wire off of another fixture, and I'm going to splice it with one of these and a crimper. It was hiding, here it is. So I'm gonna make this a little bit longer with one of these and my crimper on blue, because it's blue. finished product. That's not coming out. And it's safer than the tape I used, theoretically. All right, let's go look at the wires that are coming out of the wall. This is crazy. It's so bulky. I can barely fit anything in this fixture, so this is why I went with those slim profile push-in clips instead of the nuts. But it looks like I'm going to have to untwist these, which is, I mean, wires is really tough, but I think it's going to be a better connection. And I couldn't fit the nuts in there anyway, so it's the push pins are best. Hope they fit. All right, I have my connectors on. I'm ready to go. Put this back in there. The other thing that was hard to do is busting out this pop out. Here's the one that isn't busted out, the one that I did bust out. The inside of the light fixture, you bust out the one that's closest to where the wires are coming out of the wall. Anyway, I started from inside the light fixture, and I used this tool again, and just kind of tried to carve around that circle with this, and then I kind of on the outside just kept jabbing it. You might get a little bit of a lip, and then from there you just kind of wedge it, and you have to be careful because you can actually kind of bend and scratch the fixture. You have to be really careful with it. When I got enough of something to grab, then I just pulled it with this. Not an easy task, but doable nonetheless. All right, so now I have shoved the wires into that tiny hole, all of these wires, and set the fixture up and screw that hole in. Now I'm going to do this one. Okay, all of the wires are connected. I've tested, and this fixture works. The only thing left is to close the cover with all those wires in there. It's the tricky part. Okay, it's slightly a major miracle, but I was able to mash all those things in there and get it to clip. Now, all I gotta do is put the plastic back, which is really easy to do. Okay, it was relatively easy. But anyway, now I'm gonna turn it on, and, oh yeah, this thing. Gotta put the switch back, super easy. I don't know if you can see, but you just kind of pop it back in there. There. All right, let's let it rip. And here we have it, light fixture on. And the switch allows it to go different colors. I like the blue, it's brightest. Anyway, this is totally worth putting in these fixtures and not giving up with the fact that the wires are really difficult to work with. It's a nice fixture, it puts off a nice amount of light. And I am not an electrician, nor would I ever claim to be a knowledgeable person in this, but it was easy enough to do, and I'm totally happy with this LED replacement to the fluorescents.